Good. Nice evening. Yeah, the sun finally comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually feels warmer now than it did earlier.
It did, yeah. Actually, the air felt thick.
Yes. Yeah.
I was feeling all right.
Yes. It's a couple on the cemetery walkway. Yeah, such a beautiful evening, and maybe there's a soccer practice left over, but nothing really going on. You can see 3 kids, a couple of vehicles. Kids are kicking a soccer ball around. Oh, let's see. I am in the middle of listening to Norm's podcast from earlier today, and it is about every breath a gift or something to that effect. Preach it, brother. It's true. The events of the last week or so have just been awful from every side. So we are told to not think that. I think somebody asked Jesus once, "Hey, what happened to those people where the tower fell on them? They must have been great sinners for such a disaster to fall on them." And Jesus didn't pronounce any judgments on those who catastrophe fell. He instead gave a warning and said, don't worry about them. Unless you repent, you too likewise shall perish. Not that they're going to be crushed by a building, but saying, hey, pay attention to what's really the key issue here in life. And that is, where do you stand before your Maker? I think that's how Norman might say it. So, anyway, there's my 2 cents. And I have no idea what that was. There's not a train that direction. Maybe an upset 18-wheeler. So, certainly prayers for all, and prayers for the rest of us for understanding. So something I'll admit here, that it's something that's ugly, and I hate admitting it. So a friend of mine who I used to work with at Prudential, who is African American, she posted something, I think it was this morning, saying she woke up with tears in her eyes, angry at the fact that a young black man should be afraid, just as afraid as the police are, because they've got targets on their backs, evidently, to be pulled over as a young black man is now a very dubious thing. And I think the media has much to play in all of this. Not that it's any worse or less of a thing to have happened. And I remember when I worked with her, she would say to her son, who was the same age as our oldest, look, if you and your friends are out in a car and you get pulled over, you all keep your hands where they can be seen and you don't move them. And it was for this very thing. Good evening. And that very thing is that young black men are looked upon with suspicion. Now here's the part I hate. I can identify with that. I can identify with feeling ill at ease and for no legitimate reason. And I hate that I think that way. Don't want to. It's just a hard truth to deal with and to work at overcoming. Not to be ignorant, but to be better educated. I don't know. It's truly, depending on where you are, it is not an easy thing to be a young black man. I'm sure it's not equally the same everywhere, but enough. So anyway, let's hope for better days. I don't know what can be said to make things better. I don't know if there's really anything a president can say to make anything better. I don't know that President Obama has been successful at saying things to help, and I don't know why that is. So it always feels like a no-win situation. All right, time to move off of this subject. Felt good after my run today, so I need to put together an extra mile. I was listening to the extra mile this morning on my run, and hearing myself. I don't know when I submitted that. I'll have to look and see what the date is, whether it was April or May that I sent something off to Kevin. But hearing myself talking about just then getting on the treadmill and running 30 seconds and then walking 2 minutes, or a minute and a half, 2 minutes, to even where I was, let's say 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I think I had the tick bite. And yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had this tick bite and went out for a run on Wednesday and was feeling sick because maybe I had pushed myself too hard. And then getting on an antibiotic and feeling better, so I couldn't tell whether the sickness feeling was from overexerting my heart or if it was from the tick bite. Fast forward now, this week, what a difference. So I've been able to run 3 minutes and walk 2, and not always watching the pace. Not being careless, trying to keep it slow. But if I am not conscientiously dialing it back, actually feeling okay at the end of the run. So today I accomplished 5 miles doing that, and haven't had any ill effects all day. So very thankful. These little bits of progress, you kind of think you're going to stop gaining insight into what kind of progress you make, but it seems like I keep noticing more and more things. So very thankful for that. They have green flags here at the soccer fields. I guess they have flags so that way you can see which way the wind is blowing in case you are kicking, I suppose. Now I see 4 people over at the soccer field I passed by earlier. I rather thought that I would see somebody on my walk. I mean, see as in cross this path, across somebody else's path on this path. Norm, I have to chuckle because in your podcast, and while you did demonstrate how peaceful the hammock sounds, you just laid quiet for a few seconds and you could hear just how serene it was. But you ran across a lady who had a dog, and you were trying to tell her how peaceful it was, and her dog kept barking at you. And it was a bit of comedy that you're trying to tell her how peaceful it is, and the dog is barking. Yes. But I believe you, brother. It's good and peaceful there. Mostly my company here is robins. Robins are all I see. I hear other things. I hear blue jay squawking. But mostly the field is full of hunters. Now there's a little family that's following me about 300 feet back. Maybe not that far. I was thinking a football field. No, looks more like 50 yards. So 150 feet, 200 feet. Good evening.
Hi.
I was beginning to wonder if I would see anybody else in the path tonight. What's your dog's name?
Timber.
Timber. Looks like it's a good evening for Timber. Oh, I'm sure they get that joke all the time. Timber! Come back, Timber! It just turned a little curve and there was Timber and his master. A catbird. I hear a wren. There's the wren. All right, I'm entering into a little section that goes through the woods, like 40 feet. Has such a different feel and sound. So I've got a wren on the left side, I've got a catbird on the right side. And a robin. Yeah, it's the only section of this track that has a little bit of woods cover. A whole 40 feet out of a mile and a half. So we told Anna for next Saturday to tell them that we wished not to be the drivers to the airport. Of course, we'll have to take her down to drop her off at the church when she heads out to the Yukon. And now the next thing we need to do is respond to Margie's cousin, Dawn, about, run little bunny, run again, there you go, I don't see you now, about the Roberts family picnic. So that's not till the afternoon. So I think I might be clear for participating in the 5K next Saturday. I think I will finalize that decision with her. I do have $25. I thought it was $20. I missed the cutoff. That was last weekend. For getting the cheaper early bird entry. That sounds more like a song sparrow. Usually they're visible. Perched on a weed or something, or a twig. But I don't see it. Or hear it. If I were to run through there. Oh, the poison ivy. There's that song. Just passed by an English house sparrow. Oh, so back to the 5K. I am on the path of the 5K. So the 5K uses this park. You start out on Mill Street in front of the pool, so you actually meet in the pool area, Little League area parking lot. And then it starts right in front of there. If they haven't changed the course. So you start there on Mill Street, you turn right onto 4th, and then head over to Broad Street. Run down Broad Street for a while, and then I think you cut in at the path that connects Broad Street at St. Isidore's over to the park. You run across the bridge, onto a cinder trail, and then where? Let's see. Then back onto Mill Street. I think you head down Mill Street and turn on Brook something. Trying to figure out what part of the... So I think the path that I'm on continues to the right here, but I think that the 5K continues straight along the gravel road, which the last time I ran this in 2012, that long ago? Maybe 13. Not sure. Ran that barefoot and ran that stretch probably on the grass. I don't know if you curve here or not. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I think then you come up Cemetery Road, catch the path that I've been on, and continue on until you get back to the Little League fields and the swimming pool, Little League field parking lot, and then you are done. Then you get to swim the rest of the day for free. So you get a run, a bib, a t-shirt, and a pool pass for the day, which for adults, that's normally $12. So I'd say it's a good deal if you take advantage of all of those things. Now today, Anna said when I picked her up from her work was she had 4 people all day. So they had the pool open until 4 o'clock for 4 people. It just was that kind of day. Drizzle, threat of rain, cool temps. You know, maybe it does. Maybe the 5K does include this part of the path. I guess I'll find out if I sign up. All right, I'm back at the Little League fields, and I might try for one more loop, but I might take a break from our chat and then loop around one more time. Lots of bustling activity. I veered from my path. Forgot where I was going. I got thinking about the 5K and the finish, as opposed to staying on the path. Alright, now I'm back where I started. Just passed by a Little League game that the score showed visitors 3 and home team 0. And it was the 6th inning, which, if I remember correctly, is the last inning for a Little League. And somebody just hit a triple. Hopefully that was the home team. Alright, one more loop and it's gotten cloudy again. And we'll check back in just a little bit. On my second loop around Union Cemetery. And another thing we did today was friends of ours who live at the bottom of the development across the street from us. So their older daughter is our son Wayne's age. She graduated from University of Pitt a year ago, has been working, and is going to Abilene Christian University in the fall for her master's work. Their daughter Julia is Anna's age. And Julia and Anna were very close friends for a long, long time. But all good things do not last forever. Timber, if I remember right.
Yep.
Okay. The black lab. Looks young, not too old. But Julia and Anna were really close friends. Did a lot of things together. Shared a lot, you know. And then Julia just started pulling away from Anna, and Anna didn't really understand, and it hurt. It was hard to watch her go through it, but trying to help your child through something like that, can call that counsel, can call that discipleship. It was a tough time. She would text Julia. Julia would choose not to respond, even though Anna knew she was getting the messages. And there was nothing that was dividing their relationship. Like, there was no action, though Anna often asked, "What did I do? I don't understand." And it wasn't anything she did. I think it was more who she was and who Julia was turning into be. So Julia wanted a different kind of friend, for whatever reason, and whatever that meant, not really sure. Now, ironically, Anna just returned from a trip to Europe, and she was asked by her friend Maddie to go with her on this trip. Had been asked 2 years ago. Was asked again. And so Anna went. Well, Maddie is Julia's friend that kind of replaced Anna. So I think Anna she's on good terms with Julia, and we just tried to advise her that, hey, don't know what's going on with Julia, but here's what we think is a good approach to this, and that is just be there, you know? You liked having Julia as a friend. Yeah, there's some things maybe you don't care for about her, but in large part, you like Julia, you wish you were still friends. Just be ready to take her back if she ever comes back. In the meantime, it's okay to have more than one friend. So, at the beginning of last year, she's going into 11th grade, and she doesn't have classes with any of her friends, and it's going to be a terrible year. And then she met a girl named Ellie, and Ellie has been a real godsend. Ellie is sweet, cute, funny, witty, and a good friend. And so she and Ellie have hit it off. And the interesting thing is, her parents had the same concerns about Ellie. A friend of hers just kind of went another direction. And so it became good friends, and they still are. I remember at the beginning of the year, she thought, well, Ellie and I will sit at the same table at lunch. And that seemed to solve the big, what I'm going to do. I'm going to be all by myself at lunch. I don't know anybody. So everything was set. And then she goes into school, and she and Ellie sit at different tables. And they're fine with that. And they have fun anyway. And they still are good friends in high school. So Ellie and Anna were brought into this group of boys who were friends, a group of guys that were friends, all very smart, bright. Not sure all of them are on the track team. I think one of them is on the volleyball team. He's a tall guy. And of course, one of them likes Anna, so they have been, you could say they've been dating. Wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to be advised about this? So the boy's a nice boy. There are some things that we're not settled on, but he is very nice and kind, gentle. Evidently he's been watching her since 9th grade. So yesterday they went shopping together. What they went shopping for were craft supplies and game supplies for this Yukon trip Anna is going on. And they came back to our house after dinner at Panera together and shopping, had a good time shopping, and then came back to our house for pie. Alright, so pie. My wife is a pie baker. Oh my goodness. You guys should be jealous. She is such a good pie baker. And not only that, she had the most exquisite blueberries for her blueberry pie. And these were at the farm she works at on Saturdays. She picked a bucket of blueberries, brought them home. They have been the best. Just bursting full of flavor. Just the right kind of tartness. So good. And so she made a blueberry pie yesterday. And then something around here called funny cake pie. Funny cake has it's a pie crust with a chocolate base at the bottom and the cake on top. So thus it's called funny cake pie, because it's really cake, it's in a pie shell, but the frosting, if you will, is on the bottom. Now the frosting is not creamy frosting like you would think on a cake. It's cocoa, sugar, and whatever else. Vanilla, water. Nothing too fancy. But it's good. And Margie makes those very well. She also makes very well pecan pie. Whew. Rich, 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 but oh so good. She also makes a very mean rhubarb custard pie. Oh, the best. All right. Since I'm trying to avoid carbs, all right, so I had a sliver of blueberry pie and a sliver of shoe fly pie, and I said that's all I was going to have. And by gum, by my heart, that had better be it. love to have you guys over for blueberry pie. It was the best. Well, after I got back, I heard so much talk about the Extra Mile podcast Facebook page. I thought, oh, I'll have to check that out and get familiar with the faces and match them up with the voices. So very nice. I even connected with somebody who used to live in my area. He now lives in Lancaster. I forget the name right now. But he says, oh, I'm familiar with those trails you were walking on over at Nakamixon. That was with the walk the other day with my wife. I think that was on 4th of July. So that was kind of fun. So he lives about 3 hours from here now, a lot closer to Jim. So maybe he and Jim have connected. I don't know. Sounds like he works he's done a lot of acting and works at Sight and Sound. Sight and Sound is a production theater that does Bible story themed musicals. Sight and Sound originated in Lancaster County, and then they exported. I think there's now a Sight and Sound in Branson, Missouri. So he does something with Sight and Sound. In fact, I think the musical going on right now is on the life of Samson. We've been to a few of the shows. One was Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. And then I think we saw Moses last year. And we saw Noah. So pretty impressive productions. And of course, on your way back, you've got to stop by Shady Maple for dinner for the Smorgasbord. Smorgasbord? Borg. Board or Borg? Smorgasborg. Borg sounds more Swedish than board. And if it was Smorgasbord, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Smorgasborg, G or D? That is the question. So if you've ever been out Lancaster way, not Lancaster way, that's in California, Lancaster way, and you hit up Shady Maple. We were there once for dinner, and we've been there twice for breakfast. Both times good. Yeah. Good place to fill up, although too much filling up goes on there, though. The nice thing is, if you go on your birthday, you get in free. So last year, I wanted to go there for my birthday. Oh, that was this year. This year, I wanted to go there for my birthday. But we didn't. Because my birthday was on a Saturday this year. It'll be a while before we do that again. All right. Well, I've just about jib-jabbed your ear off tonight. See more rabbits. So just seeing all the robins in the field. I'm starting to see rabbits in the field. Rabbits come out in the morning. I guess they come out in the evening too. Seems like evening is also when the groundhogs appear. And I wish a certain one would appear while I am near my shooting stick. All right, passing through that patch of forest again, or little woods, clear in the pasture through the woods. Let's see, who do I hear this time? Catbird still. A number of catbirds. I don't know what that is. stop here, looking over a little overgrown field, looking toward the sound. Ooh, are those berries? Is there poison between here and there? Look at those. I've got to have one of those. They look like blackberries. Okay, no poison. Oh, but lovely berries. Okay, it's maybe not all the way ripe. These, ooh, blackberries. Not as big. A little tart. Ooh, a little early. Yep, a little tart. 1, 2, 3. This one looks better. Oh, wow. This is what's growing on the side of my house. Cannot wait. Ooh, are they thorny? Yikes. Like a rose bush. It's another telltale sign of it's a blackberry and not a raspberry. Thorns are much more serious. I think I could eat these till I get sick. Blackberries are always better when they give themselves away. Okay. Something to look forward to at our house. But you gotta pick them when they're a little more ripe. Do a quick tick check. The tall weeds. Alright, seem to be okay. That was good. I've had plenty to eat today. I don't need any more. But berries hit the spot. If they're not too underripe, they kind of satisfy a thirst. Like, that's the last taste in my mouth. I'm good with that. Ooh, hi, Bunny. I think I remember you from last time. Yeah, field of robins. Same field as before. Oh. Summertime berries. Sehr gut. I see the lights have come on over at the ball field. So I will be heading in for the last stretch of this evening walk. In just a couple of bends. All right, tomorrow. What's up for tomorrow? Tomorrow, we'll get up, and I would like to not run. Would like to rest tomorrow. Maybe take a walk at some point if it seems good. Got lots of movement this week. I ran Monday. I walked Monday. I walked Tuesday. I ran Wednesday. I walked Thursday. I ran Friday. I ran Saturday. And I am walking Saturday. So, movement is moving forward. Thank you all for praying for me, for thinking well for me, for encouragements. Kevin and the extra mile, thank you for the kind encouragement there at the end. So I will get a submission off to you for the next one, the 150th. So that's great. See if I can get one off before next Saturday, and then if I run, I'll give a report. So, this is Steve, enjoying a Saturday evening walk in Quakertown. Hoping you are all doing very, very, very well. Take care now. Bye-bye.